Now imagine investing all your hard-earned money only to find out it's all a fraud or a Ponzi scheme. Again, in Singapore, there are plenty of Ponzi schemes, but let me share with you some of the three biggest Ponzi schemes, right? Jail for man who ran 5 million Ponzi scheme while posing as a successful forex trader, dated 16 December 2024. Second one, jail for peddling to bogus scheme with more than 2,000, not just 200, but 2,000 Singapore investors, over 13.7 million in losses.
So this scheme lured more than 2,000 investors in Singapore into an investment scheme that promised trading return as high as 13% per month.
And the third one, two investors in Ng Yu Zhi's Ponzi scheme died because of pressure from case private banker.
Prosecutors allege that Ponzi scheme, which promised attractive profits from nickel trading, was pure fiction that duped 947 investors of almost $1.5 billion, of which more than 481 million was channeled to Ng's personal bank accounts and used to finance his lavish lifestyle.
So if you look at all these three Ponzi schemes, there's always one thing in common. They always tell you the return is extremely high. Now back to the one scheme, 13% per month. Now, if it's so easy just by passing the money to someone, then I think Singapore should all in the National Reserve into such a scheme, right? So 13% per month, then the government wouldn't have to increase their GST from 8% to 9%. So now the question is, how does a Ponzi scheme works? For example, if there is a company, they will come up with some form of a fraudulent scheme, and then they will say, if you leave your money with us, you can make quick bucks. So what will happen is, let's say A will leave, let's say $10,000 with this company. Yeah, and because this company is a fake, and they already promised A. So how can this company pay A, right? So what they do is they continue with the second layer.
They promote their fraudulent scheme to B1, B2, B3. So B1, B2, B3 will each pay this company, right? So this company will take the investment capital from the second layer, B layer, and then pay to A. Yeah, so in other words, the company can continue to do this. They will collect money from C and then pay B. And they may continue to get D, get money from D and then pay C.
And this one will go on and on until the last layer, when they couldn't get money anymore, this entire scheme will collapse, which is what has happened, right, to these three schemes found in the paper. So sometimes, in order for us to know whether is such a scheme legit, you just need to use a yardstick or a benchmark. So for example, Warren Buffett can generate 20% per year. So who on earth can generate more than him? Maybe a few, but how can these people be, right? Then the next one is the average return of an S&P 500 ETF is about 10%. And most professionally managed funds, which is more than 90%, right, they can't beat 10%. So now the question is, who are these people, right, who claim that they can generate so much return? Yeah, so the biggest red flag is always get rich quick, high return investment scheme. And interestingly, if you read all these schemes, you may notice that the victims are not necessarily old aunties, uncles who are not educated, but in fact some of them are really educated. So what does it mean? It simply means that maybe, right, the variable where people fall into such scheme is not educational level, but rather one single word called greed. So as an investor, right, for the past maybe 28 years, some of the key red flags that I notice is always the same. Get rich quick scheme. So that's number one. The second thing is, if you ask them what is your business model, how do you generate income, usually they are unable to tell you. Now if it's legit, why can't they tell you, right? So this is the second thing. And then the third thing is, usually such investment schemes are not licensed. And in order for you to know, it's very easy. You just need to Google MAS alert list and just search for the company's name. So again, I just want to let you know that in this world, unfortunately, there is no such thing as get rich quick, fast scheme. If there is no poor people in this world. So again, I just want to hear your thoughts. Any of you have come across such scheme, please comment on this video politely and respectfully. I shall see you in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.